My name is Ovi. We are a small family consisting of my father, mother, my younger brother Nick, and me. I am a college student, while Nick studies in school. From the outside, we look like a happy family. But there was one problem that worried our parents every day. The two brothers, could never stop fighting. Almost every day, we argued over something. Sometimes it was about a small issue, and sometimes it turned into a serious quarrel. Nick never seemed to treat me like his elder brother. Whenever I advised him to do something good, he would do the exact opposite. If I told him to focus on his studies, he would spend more time playing games. If I asked him not to do something, that was exactly what he would do. Seeing our constant fights, my parents became very worried. They often said, "You both are growing up. If you keep behaving like this, one day a bigger problem may happen." We listened to them, but after a few hours, we would start arguing again. The strange thing was that Nick was not like this when we were younger. As children, we were inseparable. We played together, ate together, studied together, and even slept in the same room. Nick loved me very much. Whenever he was scared, he would run to me for protection. We shared everything and spent most of our time together. But as the years passed, things slowly changed. I finished school and entered college. My life became busy with classes, assignments, and friends. Nick also grew older and became busy with his own school life and friends. Without realizing it, the strong bond we once had started to fade.
Then one day, a major incident took place. I returned home from college and found my new headphones broken on the table. I had saved money for months to buy them. Angrily, I asked Nick, "Who broke my headphones?" "I don't know," he replied. But I could tell from his face that he was hiding something. My anger exploded. "You always ruin my things," Nick shouted back. I said I didn't do it. Within minutes, our argument turned into a physical fight. At that very moment, our mother came home and saw us pushing each other. Tears filled her eyes. The sight of our mother crying made both of us silent. That night, she said only one thing: "If you brothers do not stand by each other, nobody else in this world will stand by you the way a brother does." At the time, I did not fully understand the meaning of her words. A few days later, however, something happened that changed everything. One afternoon, I was returning home from college. While crossing a busy road, I suddenly noticed a motorcycle speeding toward me. Everything happened so fast that I could not react. Just then, someone grabbed me and pulled me away from danger. It was Nick. He pushed me to safety but fell and injured his arm. I was shocked. The same brother I fought with every day had risked his own safety to save me. We rushed him to the hospital. Fortunately, the injury was not serious, but he needed a few days of rest. That night, I sat beside his bed. After a long silence, I said softly, "Thank you, Nick." He smiled and replied, "You are my brother. How could I let anything happen to you? His words touched my heart. At that moment, I realized something important. All our arguments and misunderstandings had hidden the truth, that we still cared deeply for each other. The love between us had never disappeared. It had only been buried under pride, anger, and distance. The next day, I apologized to him. Nick apologized too. From that day onward, we both made an effort to understand each other. We still had disagreements sometimes, but instead of fighting, we tried to talk and solve our problems. Slowly, our relationship became stronger again. Today, we occasionally argue like normal brothers, but we no longer let those arguments destroy our bond, because we learned a valuable lesson. Friends may come and go throughout life, but a brother is a lifelong companion. No matter how many fights happen between brothers, true brotherly love never disappears. It may become hidden for a while, but deep inside the heart, it always remains. And that is the story of how two brothers, who fought every day, found their way back to each other and became stronger than ever before. Everything changed after the motorcycle accident. Nick and I started talking more and fighting less. For the first time in years, it felt like we were becoming brothers again. But life had another challenge waiting for us. A few months later, our final examinations were approaching. I was busy preparing for my college exams, and Nick was studying for an important school test. Everyone in the family was under pressure. One evening, I suddenly noticed that a large amount of money was missing from my study table drawer. It was money I had saved for months to buy a laptop for my studies. I searched everywhere but could not find it. The first person who came to my mind was Nick. Without thinking twice, I stormed into his room. "Nick, did you take my money?" He looked surprised. "No, I didn't." "Stop lying. Nobody else enters my room. I swear, I didn't take it." My anger took control of me. For the next few days, I barely spoke to him. The trust we had rebuilt after the accident seemed to be breaking apart again. Nick looked hurt, but he never argued back. Then one night, I overheard my parents talking. My mother was crying. "What will we do now? The hospital bill is too high." Only then did I learn the truth. A few weeks earlier, my father had secretly fallen ill. He needed treatment, but he did not want to worry us. My parents had borrowed money from relatives and were struggling to pay the medical expenses. The next morning, I found out something even more shocking. Nick had sold his favorite bicycle, the bicycle he loved more than anything, to help pay for our father's treatment. My heart sank. I realized how wrong I had been. The money from my drawer had not been stolen at all. My father had borrowed it in an emergency and forgotten to tell me. And all this time, I had been accusing my own brother. I immediately ran to Nick. He was sitting alone on the roof. "Nick, I'm sorry," I said. He looked at me quietly. For a few seconds, neither of us spoke. Then I said, "I blamed you without knowing the truth." Nick smiled sadly. "I'm used to it, brother. Those words hurt me more than any punishment. For the first time, I understood how much pain I had caused him. Suddenly, dark clouds gathered in the sky. A storm began. As the rain poured down, both of us stood there in silence. Then I hugged him tightly. Nick hugged me back. Years of anger, misunderstandings, and distance seemed to disappear in that moment. A few months later, our father recovered completely. Our family slowly returned to normal. One evening, while having dinner together, my mother looked at us and smiled. "You know," she said, "this is the first time in years I've seen both of you sitting together without fighting." Everyone laughed. Nick looked at me and said, "Don't worry, Mom. We still fight sometimes." The whole family burst into laughter. But deep inside, we both knew something had changed forever. We had finally learned that being brothers is not about never fighting. It is about standing beside each other when life becomes difficult. No matter how many arguments happen, no matter how angry we become, at the end of the day, we are family. And family never gives up on each other.